Welcome to the Raging Hotmic podcast. Good morning and good evening to everyone, depending on where you're watching me from. Today we are going to talk about the contrast between the high society praise at the launch of the biography From Soldier to Statesman, the legacy of Muhammadu Buhari, and the harsh economic reality inherited by the same praise singers. President Muhammadu Buhari was the former president of Nigeria, and he handed over to the present president, President Bola Tinubu. He was president for 8 years. Now, we are surprised. Now he's dead. The family are writing a book or a biography about him, but the things they're saying, the things they read at the launch of the book is different from reality. It's different from what the average Nigerian inherited. Nigerians are asking the question, is it the same person? If you are watching me, smash the like button, subscribe, follow, drop your comments and share. Now, we all know the economic hardship Nigerians faced under President Muhammadu Buhari. It could be said he could be the worst president Nigeria has ever had. The economy was so bad. Like, I'm going to go into the talking points, but we are surprised all of a sudden the same APC government who are in charge that have criticized him are now singing his praises. Are we be deceived? Do they think we don't know what our right from the left? Do they think we are dumb? How can the same people criticize the man, then in the book launch they sing praises? Number one talking point: the APC bigwigs at the event called Buhari a statesman who stabilized Nigeria. I'm asking, is this the same Nigeria that we all know that he stabilized? How did he stabilize Nigeria? My questions are as follows. Data shows Buhari presided over 2 recessions and a massive spike in poverty. 2 recessions, not 1, but 2. The GDP growth averaged only 1.6%. 1.6% over 8 years. You know you are in trouble when your GDP is averaging only 1.6%, yet population growth was 2.6%. So the population grew faster than the GDP, almost double the GDP. So how can you grow? How can you fight poverty? How can you fight insecurity with this? So economically, the data is already wrong. The foundation is already wrong. Now, not just that, debt under President Muhammadu Buhari jumped from 12 trillion in 2015 when he took over office to 87 trillion in 2023 when he left office. So President Muhammadu Buhari incurred 4 times the debts he met, more than 4 times, 7 times or 6 times the debt he met in power. Yet, he didn't actualize anything. Not just that, that means we are borrowing. That means we are not producing, because debt, the President Jonathan government that he heavily criticized, that he campaigned against, that he called all sorts of names, and he said he came to fight corruption and he came to revive the economy, had only 12 trillion as of debt. The debt was only 12 trillion. Remember, under Obasanjo regime, the Paris Club forgave Nigeria, gave us a debt relief. Now, this same debt that was forgiven under Obasanjo jumped to 87 trillion under the same guy they claim stabilized the country. He met it at 12 trillion and he increased it to 87 trillion. And yet, these praise singers are saying he stabilized the country. So did he stabilize the country by borrowing more money that you and I are going to end up servicing? This present government have just released a budget of 58 trillion for the 2026, of which they borrowed another 20 trillion naira. So if you add 20 trillion to the 87, that means we are over 100 trillion borrowing alone. That means out of every 1 naira that we make, more than 47 kobo is going into servicing those debts. That makes you understand where we are at the moment. It's bad. That means all our revenue is going into servicing. Not just that, Nigerians, poverty amongst Nigerians increased and rose to 133 million. 133 million Nigerians were classified as multidimensionally poor. This is the same man, these same guys claim stabilize the country. So how can he stabilize the country when the GDP grew at only 1.6%, the population grew at 2.6%? So he did not even grow the GDP. I'm not even going into inflation. He did not grow the GDP. Debt increased from 12 trillion to 82 trillion. Then the last and not the least, more than 133 million Nigerians were classified as multidimensionally poor. Yet, this same guy is praising his praises at the book launch. Now, number 2 talking point: integrity paradox. President Bola Tinubu made this comment at the event. President Muhammadu Buhari left behind a reputation for integrity, a Spartan lifestyle, and the belief that public office is a trust and not a windfall. That is the statement he made as regards Muhammadu Buhari. And they clapped for him. It was a good statement. Now my questions are as follows. How can a man have integrity while presiding over illegal printing of 22 million naira that effectively stole the purchasing power of every Nigerian? So how did he do that? How can you say these guys are prosecuting the Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, for printing over 22 million, and yet they are praising the same person who was in charge, who authorized him to print that money? So do you see hypocrisy? They are praising Buhari for being Mr. Integrity, for being the person who is not corrupt, but they are prosecuting the person who worked under the same man. So how can you treat these two cases in isolation? How can Emefiele be guilty of printing money while Buhari was in charge? So Buhari did not know Emefiele was printing money when we all saw it in television, where Emefiele always said he had this. Who signed? Who co-signed? Whose signature was there? Who authorized that printing? But Emefiele is in jail, but Buhari is praised for being Mr. Integrity. So these same guys under President Tinubu said that the Tinubu government inherited a near bankrupt economy and that 22.7 trillion was printed via ways and means without any backing, which is the driver of today's inflation. Today's inflation was close to 30% when Tinubu took over. 30. The US inflation as at the moment is 2.7 and it's still high. The highest it has been in so many years was in 2024 when it hit 9%. The Nigerian inflation was over 30%. 30. Yet salaries did not increase, yet wages did not increase, yet costs increased. So the present government always refers to what they inherited under the Buhari government, how they inherited a near collapsed economy, how they inherited the economy that was dead. But these same people or this same man is praising the same Buhari government for being Mr. Integrity. Yet more than 7 of the guys who worked under Buhari have been alleged or charged for corruption. You have one was Chris Ngige. You have Abubakar Malami. You have Serika, who was the aviation minister, head of Serika. These same guys worked under Buhari, and these same guys have been alleged of corruption. Yet Buhari was Mr. Integrity. Do these guys just make these statements do they think we are fools? Who are they deceiving? Why so much hypocrisy? You say something else, next week you do something else, or next week you say another thing. Don't they know we have records? You and I cannot be silenced, and we'll ask questions. Now the third talking point is the legacy lie. The claim under Buhari security was stabilized. Now, so many people at the event claim President Buhari recognized that security is the same President Tinubu that said that President Buhari recognized that security is the foundation of citizenship. He invested in platforms and personnel. This is what he said. I'm telling you, go and check it. This is what the present president of Nigeria said about President Buhari, who he took over from. He invested in platforms and personnel. Yet, just last month, this same Tinubu was complaining and referring to inherited security vacuum under his administration and the collapsed state of Northeast and Northwest under Buhari's administration that he's trying to fix. So how did President Buhari stabilize security and invest in personnel and platform, yet there was a security vacuum? If the foundation was so solid, why did kidnapping rate increase by nearly 500%? 5 times between 2015 and 2023. In 8 years, kidnapping rate increased 500%. Yet he invested in platform and personnel. Did he invest in platform and personnel by borrowing funds from the international community? Did he invest in platform and personnel by looting the economy? Because you can't invest in platform and personnel for security and yet there's insecurity in the country every day. There's kidnapping. So make it make sense. It's not adding up. You can't invest in so what platform did he invest in? Is it the platform of corruption or platform of security? Because if security, kidnapping rate increased by 500%. And this is the same government that criticized President Goodluck Jonathan and claimed they were going to bring back our girls. They claimed they were coming, when they come into power, they will bring the insecurity will stop. He's a general. He's going to stop insecurity. Yet insecurity increased. And insecurity is even worse in this present administration. We don't need to curse the dead. We don't need to say bad things about the dead. But at the same time, we don't need to lie about the dead. Two things can be right at the same time. Sometimes if you don't have anything good to say about the dead, you just keep short. But you don't need to make the dead look like they were the best thing, they were the savior, they were the messiah. Buhari messed up the economy. He messed up the country. He left it worse, way worse than he found it. In fact, he could be said to be the worst mistake Nigerians ever made. Nobody out in the street has any good thing to say about. Very few. He left office with his name. If there's polling after office, like in America, you would have seen that polling numbers would have tanked. Yet, the family are launching a book. They have the right to launch a book. They can launch whatever, but they can't rewrite history. I'm still going to go into the details of the book or whatever was said in the book, because I'm here to digest that. I'm going to do that, and we are going to talk about the book. But I'm concerned with what was said during the book launch. So are they referring to another Nigeria that we don't know? Or are they referring to another data that we don't have? These guys cannot fool us. And we cannot be silenced. Thank you. Have a good weekend ahead. Remain blessed. Remember, we cannot be silenced. Bye-bye.